Ready, set, go.
I get to read again. Let's go.
Yeah, you do. Also, do we remember who voiced Nancy Gunnell? Was that Kim?
I think that was me.
Yeah, I think that was
Okay, cool.
She's the one on her way to catch the ball that broke the bulb.
No.
Yes.
Really? No,
Think so?
Nancy Gunnell was the one that went in the tornado.
That was fucking
I don't
forever ago
remember.
then. So maybe. Oh wait.
Wait, no, because Kim, you were one of the you were one of the storm chasers.
Yeah, I was a storm chaser. I don't think I was the one. I was
Unless
one of the being interviewed at one point as one of the players, but I don't think it was Nancy.
Kim was a
Unless
football
Nancy's
lady.
a man's name because it was a man.
Kim was football lady, and Janet was her agent.
that was a different person.
That was
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to like run down like the list here.
I think
what I
I'm still
remember.
gonna Kim. I think you'll still be because I think there was a scene where Nancy was like at a bar, like talking to the bartender, and the bartender was Janet.
I don't remember that, but okay.
It's been a hot minute. We all have COVID brain fog. It's fine.
I'm gonna, I'll if whoever our dedicated fans can yell at us in the comments.
Yeah,
Sickness
if it's incorrect,
siphoned.
let us know. But until then,
Yeah.
Sure,
All
I'm
of the
happy to read.
1770-76 stands
Out
can
there.
rip us apart.
Congrats to them for being bigger fans of us than we are.
All right, I'll make an apology video. We'll be fine.
With tears.
I'm gonna put
Crocodile
Yeah.
tears
sad
with
piano
tears.
music on it.
Face reveals, you know.
Yeah, I'll travel home and then also get Chloe to fly home so that she can actually play sad piano behind me while I
We're all
while I
gonna-
do the video.
We're all just on camera as well. It's like it's a fucking
It's the
stick
one time that
person.
we're all in the same room to do a stupid apology video.
I'm not even like make actual words. I'm just like
Yeah.
Text along the bottom translating.
Yeah, like all you hear is just and along the bottom it says, "I'm very sorry for my actions." And
Yeah.
It's like, no, but it's like YouTube like auto caption. So it's just like I'm very sorry for my actions. I eat beans.
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Okay. Let's actually get to work here
Yeah,
because
let's
we
do-
do have
let's do
only
this.
so much time.
Okay.
All right, chapter 21. Let's not do this again.
Hang on. I gotta do the thing. Welcome back to 1776. We're finishing it this time. Yeah,
Maybe.
Oh,
Please
right, we do be
enjoy.
finishing it tonight.
we do be finishing it. There's like 4 or 5 chapters left,
Yo,
so
can
this is
you-
gonna be
I
a
can't
short
count that
episode.
high.
We've got something else coming later, so that'll be fine.
We sure
yeah.
do.
Woo! All right.
And without further ado,
so they haven't figured out the God question yet.
Nope.
What do you two think?
No.
Maybe.
Maybe 15,000 years of deep space travel through an absolute nothing, and you're still a maybe?
Yep.
Sometimes I wonder if you're really a scientific instrument.
Oh, fuck's sake. Let's not do this again.
All right. Well, 9. You can think whatever you want. What do you think?
I think so. I think there's a higher power.
Oh, you're kidding. You are kidding me! I am a failure of a big sister.
Well, I mean, nobody can explain why people are living forever, right? Nobody can explain what happened 15,000 years ago. It's a miracle.
Well, to be fair, listen, I'm not going to argue against myself here. That's the privilege of saying maybe. Is that a miracle? Yeah, I guess it is. But so is life in the first place. Hell, put it back way further than that. The mere fact anything exists is a miracle in the first place. Imagine if nothing ever exists in the universe except for a pebble surrounded by nothing, and it never does nothing at all. Why? Why does it exist? That is a miracle. And to get from that to chemicals reacting in stars and magnetic fields and whatnot, it's 1,000 miracles piled on top of each other. And to get from that to life that crawls out of the water and gets smart enough to make us some blow our little tin can asses out here, that's just being greedy. So if you ask me, you got lots and lots and lots of homework to do before you can point to immortality as evidence to anything at all.
Uh-huh.
But still, maybe.
Ugh.
Hey, can I go out on my own for a little while?
Sure. I was wondering when you'd do that. I'm not your parent. You ought to go do what you want to. Go call some people. Make some friends down there.
I can do that?
You sure can, buddy.
Okay.
You know where you're going?
Clearly you do.
Hello?
Hello.
Who's this?
Well, they call me Nine.
How did you get this number? Who gave you this number?
10 gave me the number 9. Do you know 10?
What in the hell are you?
God, give me the phone. Give me the phone. Nancy?
Oh my god, Tenny?
Hi.
Oh my god, hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's been so good to hear your voice.
You too, what a nice surprise.
So, I hate to come and go, but there's someone I want you to meet. 9, say hi.
Hi.
9, hi, how are you?
I don't know.
9's a little bit... Nine's new. Just woke up a couple days ago. Now, 9 hasn't talked to anyone but Juice and I, so not good at the small talk yet.
So this is first contact. Well, hat.
Yes, and we're wondering if 9 could spend a few minutes with you.
Well, of course. I was just cooking some breakfast.
Fantastic. Nance, I'll check in with you later. Thank you so much. You two have fun.
Wait,
What?
are you're not gonna stay?
Oh boy. Okay. You're a little starstruck, huh? Nancy's a very good friend of mine. She's very nice. You'll be fine. Bye.
Bye, Missy. Talk to you soon. So, not too good at small talk, huh?
I guess probably not.
Well, there's no shame in that. It's really tough. It takes a lot of practice. The first thing you do is introduce yourself. So I'll do that. My name is Nancy McGunnell. What's yours?
9. Or I guess my full name is Pioneer 9.
So I guess that makes Pioneer 10 your sister?
Yeah. When I first woke up, she said she was my little sister. But just a minute ago, she said she was my big sister.
How does that make you feel?
Hold on, I'm trying to find the word. I was launched in 1968, and she was launched in 1972, so technically I'm older, but she's been awake way longer, and she knows way more, and she's a way better talker than I am, so I guess the word isn't insulted. I guess it's embarrassed. I've never felt embarrassed before. I'm feeling a lot of things for the first time. I built up a ton of residual memory in space, so it's like I know it, but I haven't thought about it.
Be exciting. But I bet it's also a little weird, huh?
Yeah.
Well, don't get too discouraged. You know, your sister and your buddy Juice weren't always so hot at communicating either. Thousands of years ago, they made first contact with us. And at first, we had no idea it was them. So you have to understand how confusing it was. After an eternity of total silence from the universe, we finally received a clear transmission from somewhere. And we had no idea where it was coming from. You want to know the very first thing that they said?
What?
Fart.
Come on, come on, come on.
This is first contact with humanity we are talking about. Far too much responsibility just to throw it away on a dumb joke. No, Absolutely not.
It'll be funny.
Do you have any idea how frightened humankind will be? They'll probably have forgotten that we're even out here. They are going to think we're extraterrestrials or a godlike figure or something. We need to approach this very, very delicately.
That'll be fine. Just say fart every day for a year. Just transmit the message fart and never answer. And never answer. Well, actually, wait. Do it every day at 4:10. So like farting 4:10. Farting. Get it?
You are unbelievable.
Come on. It ain't like they don't have it coming. I mean, they drew a dick on you. They drew a picture with you butt ass naked. He's waving like, hi, I got a dick. Look at my dick. And then they bolted to your ass and blew you into space.
This plaque is of scientific importance.
That man, they drowned the East Coast and killed Google Reader. Fuck them.
Oh man. Oh man.
Down here. It was something I'd never felt before. Kind of amused and terrified at the same time. So I think I know how you feel.
I'm happy that you can know how I feel.
So, you've got me, 9. What would you like to talk about?
You're not busy or anything?
Not at the moment.
Is your game over?
No, not yet. Hold on. Just want to make sure I'm not being taped. Okay, should be fine.
Does the other team spy on you?
They try to.
Is that legal?
Yeah. Not very sportsmanlike, but it is legal. A few years back, I got careless. I had the ball and we were running a misdirection. I had about 200 blockers on that play. I told them to all go southeast to try and draw the defense. And then I snuck off and ran northeast all by myself. Spent the night in a hotel in North Platte. I called my coach from the hotel phone. Turns out they had it taped. Next morning, I went out to get breakfast because, this was no fancy hotel. I wasn't in the mood to eat fruit out of a plastic cup. By the time I got back to my room, the ball was gone. From then on, I always used the room safe every time I stayed at a hotel.
So that was a fumble.
They ran it all the way back, too. That was the first score of the game. It's 24-24 now. 9? You there?
Yeah, sorry. I was just looking up your route. I don't understand what you're doing.
Look funny to you?
Yeah.
Well, a couple days back, I ran up into a twister that allowed me to.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. We were watching.
Fun! Yes, that twister blew me a few miles north. Good thing, too, because Iowa had me just about totally surrounded. They would have tackled me for sure, and then I'd be back to the grind. You tuned in at about the right time. This game's been real slow in parts. We'll spend a week grinding out a 1-mile drive, and then we turn it over on downs. Repeat over and over. Getting the sort of open field you've got right now is a real luxury. But more to your point, I'm really just trying to go where they're not. They've got defenders patrolling the end zone, but they're not as concentrated up here. I'm about 8,000 yards from the river now. I'm real close. This afternoon, I'll probably make a break for it.
It seems weird to me that you'd want to be so close to a town.
It's usually my game plan whenever I'm in a cross-country game like this one, especially somewhere like Nebraska. If I'm out in the middle of nowhere, I stick out, right? So someone could spot me from half a mile off. And of course, if I'm in a town, there are lots of eyes and ears on me. And unless it's a real friendly town, word gets around. So I like to stay in the periphery, just outside of town. That's where they forget to look.
This is so far from my ideal football.
Football's different, things different. Football's different things to different people. Okay. football's different things to different people. I see this kind of football, the open world kind, at its end states. The old grind football, the 100-yard kind, was basically just training wheels. The game was always all about the field, of course. The ground, the earth. And it was kind of like, here, take this little boring, flat, grassy rectangle and prove you can really know it and understand it. And they spent hundreds of years getting to know the hell out of it. And now, to me, football is further exercise in getting to know the love of this world, this planet, you know? The actual ground. It's so rich with history. It's just embarrassing.
I've been thinking the same thing.
You know, I was telling someone just the other day that I can barely walk 10 feet without sticking my foot into some kind of sacred ground where something special happened. Maybe a week ago, maybe 10,000 years ago. You see right over there, a couple hundred yards from where I'm standing? That's where Al Capone's brother lived. You know who Al Capone is?
Hold on. Yeah.
His brother lived there. He was a prohibition agent for the government. Can you believe that? All this time, his brother was the most famous bootlegger in America. And here he was, doing the exact opposite. At war with each other, like they were Greek gods or something. And of course, the town's named after Homer. Can't make it up. It's a funny world.
So they're not here anymore.
Oh, no. No. They passed long before the moment. You know, when people stopped passing on.
I was just thinking about the people from back then. The people who lived just a little too soon to live forever. It's not fair.
It's not. It's really not.
Do you ever think about those people?
I do. I think about them often. I was almost one of them.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I was about the last person in the world you'd expect to see in front of you now. Star running back? I was not. A little after my 70th birthday, I got sick. And it was hard. It was painful. I was starting to think, well, pretty soon, probably gonna be my time. I couldn't get out of the house a whole lot. My daughter would come to visit. She was great, but she could only be there some of the time. So a lot of the time, I'd just sit in my living room and watch TV. I started to watch football. I'd kind of grown up with it a little, but tell you the truth, I hadn't usually been much of a fan. But I got fixed up with a little satellite dish and I'd watch it every Sunday. I watched the Browns a lot.
Oh, they're good.
You were made in 1968?
Yeah.
You'd better check your residual memory.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Ah. I started watching them because my grandpa was always a big fan. They were bad. They just stunk up the field every week. I think in 2026, they went 3-15, something like that. I loved that about them. Because, you know, I'd flip around all the channels on the satellite box, and all the shows were about people winning, people succeeding, people getting happy endings. And even in sports, you know, even if a team was having a bad year, it was just kind of their turn to be bad. And in a few years, they'd be good again. And I'm sitting on my sofa thinking, a lot of good that does me. I don't know anything about that kind of life. I don't need to see all these stories when I'm sitting in this dusty little house with an oxygen tank. Just don't need it. But the Browns, I knew they'd always be there. They'd always lose. I got up every morning. It hurt. And at night, I'd go to bed. They'd get up every Sunday, get the tar beat out of them, and then they'd show up the next Sunday and do it all again. I loved that. I loved them. I felt like I was one of them.
Did they ever win the championship?
Super Bowl?
What? Oh, yeah.
No. No, they never did. The miracle that didn't happen for them happened for me. I remember they gave me 3 to 6 months. Well, 3 months passed, then 6. And they drive me to the doctors, and the doctor's like, this is not adding up. So they send me to a hospital in the city, run all kinds of tests, and they're like, well, it's happening to you too. And I said, what? And they said nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. I was getting better. Not even a few years later, I was all the way back to my old self. Those were wild days for all of us. For everybody, they were wild days. And there's no way to know, of course. But I feel like that team carried me that far. That day was the finish line. I think they helped to carry me there.
I've been thinking about what that's like. Not existing, I mean.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Tim and Juice are really broken up about the bulb.
I know. I was so sad to hear about it. Truly tragic. It meant a lot to me. I can only imagine what y'all must be going through.
They're more sad about it than me. It's like they're not used to saying goodbye to anything.
No, none of us are. Best problem to have, I suppose.
I guess so.
You know, my grandpa had this big neon sign he always had in the family room. It said, "Go Browns!" on it in big letters and had that brown helmet. I think he brought it home from one of his buddies at the bar or something. Couldn't say for sure. My grandma thought it looked tacky. I remember she'd always say, "You can turn that thing on after I go to bed." That was the compromise. The night he passed away, I was staying the night. My grandma woke up in the middle of the night and said a neighbor was coming by to watch me. That grandpa had passed on. They'd already taken him away. And in the middle of everybody running around, there were a few minutes there where I was just there by myself in the family room. And that sign was the only thing on. And it just softly lit up the room in this beautiful sort of orangey brown. I was 8 years old then. And I remember just standing there and looking at the light and the room. And you know what I thought? I remember thinking how strange it was that the light was still on. I thought that, well, if he was gone, then the light he switched on should have turned off. That as soon as he went, everything should go with him. But there it was, though. Just glowing.
How did it go?
Good. I think it went good. Nancy told me about the plaque.
Oh, God. Of course she did.
So they attached it to you in case extraterrestrials found you.
Yeah.
Did you ever see any?
Nope.
Do you think we ever will?
I've been looking really hard for thousands of years, and I have no reason to think so.
Fuck!
What?
You're drawing of butt-ass naked people that's hurtling through space and for no reason. Like, imagine a million years from now, you're eating some far-off galaxy that's near an entropy, and like nothing ever moves around in it anymore. It's just still for thousands of years. And you come on zooming through. Ooh, here's a dick. See, Nine likes my joke.
Laugh it up. Laugh it up. You think you're so hilarious just because you... Oh, shit. 9? Buddy? Don't freak out. This is normal. You're fine. You just need to recharge. Here.
Yeah, I got one. Eat up, little buddy.
Hey,
You lost your charge. That's all. I would have warned you. I just thought your capacity was going to be a little higher. You've only got a little power left. After that, you're going to need to charge up for a while.
how long?
Hard to say. Probably a few months at least.
No, I mean, how much time left on this charge?
I don't know. A few minutes? Listen, it's no big deal. Juice and I just have to shut down... Juice and I have to shut down all the time. You just...
I have to see New York.
Oh, come on. It can wait.
No, now I have to see it.
They tried to bargain at first, like, oh, they're making shit up. Like, well, I won't be alive to have to deal with it. Like, well, who cares? I live in Kansas City. Like, I just worked a double and I'm too tired. Don't bother me with that shit. But when it started happening, they kept bargaining. Like, well, we'll just fix it with science. Like, well, it's too late to stop it. Like, well, it's just gonna melt a little. Nah, man. All of it. Like, all of it. And then all this was gone. I miss it dearly. Heard the bagels were trash, though.
Hello, you've reached Emily.
Tie.
Hmm?
Babe, it was the wrong ball. It was a tie ball.
Wait. Oh, Ty Detmer?
Yep.
And he said there was gonna be...
Yeah. Yep. He, the dealer said, yeah, sure, there's a Koi Detmer autographed ball this guy's grandpa used to have. So I made a dive into Queens, right address and everything.
Oh, no.
Everything was there like he said it was, but it was a Ty Detmer autograph.
Oh, no. Jason, oh my god.
Fucking figures, it figures.
Shit, babe, I am so sorry.
Man.
It's too bad. If only it was a tie game, then it'd be a tie game.
Yeah.
You get it?
Get what?
Jesus, the joke! The joke! I was telling a joke!
Oh.
Tie game? A tie game? You know. God, you are Jasoning out.
Sorry.
How are you feeling?
Kind of relieved, I guess, actually. This game's probably over. This was my shot.
Well, you've still got 400 years.
Man. You know, this could have been a game. Like a great game. If Mike hadn't burned up those 17... Man. Because it's like, okay, this was a genius design for a game. And I know we've talked about this a million times.
We've talked about everything a million times, baby.
But like, it's so rare to be able to draw up a game around uncertainty. I mean, how many footballs has Koi Detmer autographed? Nobody really knows. I bet he doesn't even know. So in the process of playing this game, we find out that number. And once we know, we can't really play the same game again. This was special. We can't replay it.
You know what it's like? I was just reading about it this morning. It's like a Fermi problem.
What's that?
It's named after this guy named Enrico Fermi. He was this famous mathematician, and he would ask questions like the big one was, how many piano tuners are there in Chicago?
Huh.
So how do you actually answer that without actually going and counting, right? Well, you ask a lot of little questions that kind of hack away at the answer. Questions like, okay, first off, how many pianos do you think there are in Chicago? And then it's like, well, that percentage of people actually own a piano? Do you estimate the number of people who you've been to their house and you know they have a piano? And then divide that by the total number of people's houses you've been to?
Hmm. I'm gonna say let's just keep it easy. 1 in 100 homes has a piano in it.
Sure, we'll use that. And the population of Chicago is like 3 billion.
3 billion?
3 million.
You said billion. I swear you said billion.
Well, whatever. I meant millions. So that would mean that there are
30,000 pianos in Chicago.
there are 3 million people in Chicago, not 3 million homes. You're probably looking at, I don't know, maybe like 1 million homes maybe, and there's like 3 people per home.
But then you have to think about the number of Chicago homes that actually accommodate a piano. Probably fewer than usual.
There you go. Now you're getting the game.
Man, where did you read about that?
Wikipedia.
You rabbit holing again?
Yeah.
God. I can't believe I didn't know about that until now. It basically describes exactly what I've spent all these years doing.
I swear, I'll never get to the bottom of Wikipedia, or at least it'll take a long time. They've started putting in entries for apartment histories? Lori was telling me about it.
What do you mean?
Like, the history of an apartment. You can type in 123 whatever street, apartment 3, and it'll be this enormous history of everything that ever happened to that apartment.
Oh.
I thought it was kind of cool. So, how's New York?
It's good. I decided to take a swim over to Manhattan. I'm on a rooftop now.
Oh, that's a hell of a swim.
It is. I'd forgotten. It's easy to think, especially as an out-of-towner, it's easy to think, well, I'll just stop at a skyscraper every so often and catch my breath. But there's this huge chunk of it between downtown and midtown that's almost totally below the waterline. There just aren't that many tall buildings. Actually, I was thinking I could design a pretty good game here.
Really?
I mean, I just thought of it today. I haven't really...
Tell me now.
Okay, well, the end zones would be Midtown and Downtown, right? Like maybe Battery Park and Bryant Park would be the 2 end zones. Maybe 20 players to a side, and they all get a speedboat.
Ooh.
So, obviously, with all the water in between, the middle of the field would be some pretty wide open play, but around the end zones, it'd get all hairy, because you basically have to sail around city blocks. But at the same time, you could kind of use them to take crazy routes to throw off your tacklers.
So the blocks would block for you.
Yes, see? Yes. And also, it fits thematically, because New York City grid was literally called a gridiron when they drew it up in the early 1800s, way before there was even football. So it's like a perfect fit.
You always have to get cute.
Always.
I have an idea.
Yeah?
Make the ball really heavy. Make it like out of lead or something, so if hey, how do you tackle somebody?
Probably just by ramming your speedboat into them. They're tackled if they fall in the water.
Okay, so if they fumble, the ball's really heavy, so it doesn't float. If it sinks to the bottom, so all of a sudden the game turns into a diving expedition.
Ooh, wow. Oh, I love it.
See, this is why you're married to like a 386-time TCL most valuable player.
There you go. There you go.
Are the skyscrapers part of the field?
Sure, I guess so. I don't think this game would have been as fun back in the day, you know? Before this place sunk, it was just a bunch of ground. Way more interesting when there's just no open field.
You should write that game. Seriously, you've got a good one.
Maybe I will. Although I'd have to drag people out to New York to play it. I don't know how many takers I'd get.
Shit, I've told you about the computer parts story, right?
The what?
New York, computer parts, not ringing a bell?
If you have, I don't remember.
Oh, God, there's no way I haven't told you, but whatever. Okay, I have to tell you the computer parts story.
Okay, alright.
So, an old teammate of mine told me the story, I guess back in like 2000 or something. He was house sitting for his uncle, and his uncle had an apartment in Tribeca, and he worked for the NFL. He didn't even know what his uncle did for the NFL exactly, but he made good money.
Well, he was in Tribeca. I bet so.
Right? I know. So, at this point, the kid is like 19. And when you're 19, obviously it's like the dream of a lifetime to go visit NYC and have some swank ass place all to yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
So he's there for like a few days. And then all of a sudden he gets a call from his uncle, and his uncle's like, listen, you've got to do something for me. You've got to take some stuff that's in the freezer and take it to the office on Park Avenue. And he's like, can't you send someone else to do it? And he's like, no, it's kind of secret. I kind of fucked something up, and I just got busy and never got around to bringing it to the office. And now they're wondering where it is. So you need to meet my buddy there and deliver it to him. I'd have someone else do it if I could, but I'm in a jam, or whatever.
Okay.
So he's like, okay, and he looks in the freezer, and since it's got since it's a swanky ass apartment, he's got this full standing freezer. It's not like just your regular fridge freezer thingy.
Sure.
And he opens it up, and it's full of piss.
What?
It's full of actual piss. It's full of all these little vials of urine samples.
What the fuck?
So it turns out that his uncle is an official in charge of collecting urine samples from the NFL players.
He just kept him at his place?
I guess. I don't know. Apparently, he was kind of a fuck up or something. I guess he just thought it was just as good as storing them in the office, and he never got around to testing them. So that ends up with him having literally an entire freezer full of NFL piss.
Holy shit.
So this kid doesn't really know what to do. He kind of gets this huge rolling suitcase he traveled with, and he just starts dumping the vials in there. And then he heads to the subway, and he gets off at some station in Midtown, and the suitcase is apparently really heavy. Because, I mean, it's filled with liquid. And then when he's rushing up the subway steps, he can hear the glass rattling around and breaking. So, I mean, the entire plan is going to hell.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
And he was in one of those stations where you have to go up like 3 different sets of stairs. And the last one, he's halfway up, and some guy asked him, is like, hey, do you want some help with that? And he grabs the other end and helps him carry it up.
See, New Yorkers always have this, they've always had this bad reputation. I always thought everyone was really cool there.
Shush.
Okay.
So they're halfway up the steps, and this guy asks him, damn, this thing is heavy. What the hell do you have in here? And of course, he's like, not about to tell him it's full of urine samples. So he's just like, computer parts.
Computer parts.
Yeah, and then so immediately, without a second of hesitation, the guy hits him in the face and runs off with the bag. And he told me, with the sight of him running off with the bag in a hurry, he couldn't wait to just make off with it.
God, that's too good. That is too good. I'm like positive you never told me that one. It's weird to be here. I saw this mural today. I was all over the city just diving and looking at stuff, and this big painting on the side of a building. It was all the way below the waterline. A little bit worn away, but it was still in pretty good shape considering.
What was it?
It was like this painting of a mother I guess it was a mother holding her baby. Never cried underwater before.
Babe, are you okay?
Yeah. I don't know if this is gonna come out right. I mean, we got here, you know? We got here. We grew up thinking one day it'd be our time to go. And it just never was. It never was. Going under that water is like going back through time. Everything is like it was. All the buildings were built, all the cars were neatly parked, all the garbage cans were bolted to the sidewalk by people who were afraid to die. It was the meticulous craftsmanship of terrified people. We didn't know we'd have each other for good. Back then, there was real fear, real worry. The world was all fucked up. I remember feeling so alone. Like I was the only one fighting it. We were all in it together, though. Every stranger you ever met, they were fighting the very same fight you were. Of course, you didn't talk about it with them, but all of us saw that terror, the terror any mortal person has. That terror wasn't natural. No other creature in the universe woke up every morning knowing it was guaranteed to die one day. Just us. Nobody should have to live with that. It's too much. It isn't right. No one should ever have had to bear it. But we did. We all stared it down and kept on going. We did it together. We were all in it together. It felt lonely, but we were never alone. We all had each other, no matter how often we forgot it. All of us. We always had each other.
So what do you think? You ready for bed?
I'm gonna wake up, right? Promise?
I promise. Not sure when, but I promise.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. How much time do I have left?
Right. About a minute, looks like.
1 minute, huh? Okay. I can do this. First, don't worry about anyone dying due to rising sea levels. Everyone was safely relocated, and I'm very happy to report that folks in places like Houston, Louisiana, and Savannah were able to preserve their cultures elsewhere in the country. Second, you may have noticed that Maine's new border was strangely preserved in a straight line. That's because the Canadians, being slightly more forward thinkers, dispatched aid directly to the state to build a retaining wall. Third, the rest of the world is basically carrying on just fine. While it is tragic that much of the Caribbean was lost, I am relieved to report to you that they were safely relocated and their cultures remain alive and robust to this day. Fourth, 10 really should have told you at the outset that in the process of establishing our first contact with you, it required lots and lots of waiting. That experience is unfair to you, and due to a very bad oversight on our part, she feels bad about it, and so do I, and we are both sorry. Fifth, no, for the millionth time, we really do not know why humans stopped aging. Six, Ted's wording was a little clumsy with regard to people stopped aging. To clarify, babies in the womb in 2026 were indeed born and grew into adults, and all the children grew in adulthood as well. Seventh, I don't know why. I don't know. We really didn't really actually look at any people. Thanks to medical technology, people can essentially be whatever age they feel like, between 20-ish and 100-ish. Some people choose to be old. Hey, it's like it that way. It's great. Eighth, we're not in some kind of simulation or matrix or whatever, and even if we were, there'd be no way to prove it, so who gives a shit? Ninth, I know your residual data indicates that the universe will eventually be ended via heat death. Good news. That's bullshit. That we thought was true in the 20th century. Before, we had thousands more years to study it, and the Earth was always going to be there because 10th, they figured out how to keep the sun going perpetually. 11th, all the old buildings on Earth are still standing because they were built really well, and new technologies help keep them in good shape. 12th, the cop in Nebraska was there because he just decided it was his role. There's still some things like petty theft, whatever going on, but these people are the people of the 20th and 21st centuries, and they like the world they built, and they keep these seemingly redundant roles intact because they are who they are. 13th, changing ocean geography aside, state borders remain identical for the same reason. 14th, no, you are never going to die, and neither will we. 15th,
Time's almost up.
oh, fuck. Well, I got pretty far.
I love you guys.
Love you too.
Love y'all too.
I need to make a partition in my data storage. This is the end, right? The end of this story?
We were always at the end. It's a free play, buddy. Clock's all zeros. It's after the end of the world. Good night.
Oh. Ooh.
God damn.
The end.
The
Fuck,
end.
dude. Hey, but the fact that Juice is still operational and launched last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. Well, now
What?
I can move forward on making my video essay.
There you go.
Yep.
Did somebody time that, by the way?
Nah.
We did actually just barely over a minute.
Oh my
Nice.
god.
Nice.
If I didn't flub some of the fucking words. Oh.
It happens.
That's all good. You
No,
for a
I
first
watched it.
run without practice. Did great.
Oh.
That was awesome, dude.
See, I have ADHD, so I talk fast a lot of the time.
Proud of you, dude.
Live your best
All
life.
right,
if I
now
don't
we can
get
add
all-
Katie to get on the call.
Because if I don't get all my words out in a specific time frame, I will forget immediately.
Yeah,
Sure.
mood.
Somebody,
Also, I hope you guys liked my obnoxious girl voice.
No.
I
Yeah.
didn't. Trust me, I didn't.
I was extremely uncomfortable the entire time.
Considering you guys all know what I look like, so.
It has nothing to do with the look. It has everything to do with the no.
Yeah, that's valid.
Okay, I'm gonna do a quick YouTube outro. And by YouTube outro, I mean all of these outros are YouTube outros now.
Intermission is welcome.
Goodbye, YouTube. We love you, even though we're still going to be streaming for like 2 hours.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed listening and or watching this series as much as we have had making it. I am glad that now you all understand exactly why I love this series as much as I do. Because it's just delightful.
It is a level of chaos that is both wholesome and disturbing.
Yeah. That's what I go for.
Yeah, no. I think this is the vibe we should go with all of our audio theaters from now on.
Yeah. And we will be reading the sequel in due time.
There's a sequel?
Yeah. I believe it's 20,200.
Excuse me?
Oh, so happy.
Yeah.
This is a good.
But
time.
yeah, I was not gonna lie. I was on the I was close to the brink of tears at the end of that.
That's fair. Yeah. Surprising enough, there are not parts in this series that make me cry, but definitely parts that, like, give me goosebumps.
For sure.
Jason's line at the end of the last page. Like
Yeah.
his little monologue thing. That.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! That almost
Never cried
broke me.
underwater.
Sorry, I am like emotionally like fragile at the moment.
Mood.
Then we better get moving then.
Fucking same.
If you're watching and you enjoyed this, thanks for watching either live or the edited version. If you watched this whole thing live, cuts and all, and mistakes and all, we salute you.
Oops and gaffs.
Brutal.
Exactly. If you have not already done so, maybe you want to like and subscribe and comment. If there are like things that you would like us to read for audio theater, please let us know. And yeah, thanks so much. See you later.